Hey guys, it's Mike. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about what makes for a good personal statement. With the start of the new year, many of you guys are probably getting ready to start your undergraduate or your graduate admissions packet. With that being said, personal statements do play a very big role in your overall application packet. Now, from my both personal and professional perspective, I believe there are 4 points that you should pay attention to when trying to write the best personal statement possible. Number 1, the personal statement should attract the attention of the reader. Number 2, when writing a personal statement, you should also consider what you're writing from the perspective of the reader. Number 3, are you properly answering the questions that are being asked in the prompt? And number 4, what is the tone of your voice when writing this essay? So let's go into number 1, attracting the attention of the reader. Now, these personal statements are being read by the admissions committee on basis of tens, if not hundreds a day. With that being said, most personal statement questions are very general. They normally ask you, what are your short-term and your long-term goals? Why do you want to pursue this degree? And finally, what do you plan on doing with this degree? Because the questions are all so similar, the answers to these questions could also end up being very similar as well. So when you're writing your personal statement, you should try to be unique. So what do I mean by unique? If you look at the example on screen, the student starts off his personal statement talking not about why he wants to pursue this degree, but rather the difference between the economic status of China and the United States. He goes on further to talk about these differences and how efficient it is in some aspect from a Chinese perspective. And finally, he goes into saying he wants to pursue a business degree so he can renovate some of the more traditional methods that are being used in the Chinese economy today that aren't really panning out for bigger companies. Thinking from the perspective of the reader. Now, when you're writing your personal statement, you're writing to the school. So you have to think about, what is the school looking for? As most of you know, a personal statement is limited to only 500 words. As most of you guys who have written a personal statement, you know it's not enough words for you to talk about everything that you want to talk about. And that is done with a purpose. Most universities and colleges limit their personal statement to 500 words because not only do they want you to answer the questions that are being asked, but they also want to look at your ability to demonstrate your thoughts into paper. So when writing a personal statement, you should try your hardest to be concise and straight to the point, yet at the same time demonstrating a level of writing capabilities that is correspondent to your degree. This question on the screen is from Columbia University and their graduate program. The question that you have to answer is describing your academic and professional background and how it has prepared you for this program, in addition to any other special circumstances that you wish to talk about. So with that being said, you know what the reader is expecting to answer. Are you going to properly answer this? And so that brings up to my third point of fully answering the question that is being asked. I noticed that for a lot of college students, when they're writing a personal statement, they tend to just list out their achievements through their academic or professional career. While this is great because you feel like it demonstrates your ability, it does not really give the university a definite answer in what are you capable of. So you want to go into specific details about your accomplishments as opposed to just listing them out. And also, when you're picking your accomplishments, you have to determine whether it has any relevance to the major or the program that you're applying to. We had a student who previously wrote a personal statement discussing what he believes to be a financial crisis or problem that will be encountered within the next couple years. In that, he decided to write about the debt system that is very often utilized in the West that is only being picked up right now in Eastern economies. While this system has worked in the West, it's not seeing as much success in the East due to SMEs and their inability to keep up with a rapidly evolving market. So this point is something that not a lot of students will write about, which brings out the uniqueness in the student in terms of both his professional and his academic standpoint, which makes him much more appealing for a graduate program within the financial sector. The goal of a personal statement is to show the application or the admissions committee a side of you that you can't tell from your transcripts or your other paperworks. Lots of students tend to write their personal statement from a point of they're super intelligent, or they're super capable. And while it is good to demonstrate your above average academic abilities, you should also have a sense of humility. Lots of students I have also noticed in their personal statements tend to write in very flowery or use very highly advanced words. Are you sure you're properly using those words? For example, I have seen cases where a student wants to show the thought process of someone else. Now, he could have used the word incoherent or incomprehensive in it. Instead, he decides to use the word balderdash. While the word balderdash is not completely wrong in that scenario, it is a word that you generally wouldn't associate with that particular sentence. He demonstrated, yes, he does have a very deep vocabulary, yet his mastery over the English language was not as comprehensive as expected. So that wraps up our video for the day. So in conclusion, remember, when writing a good personal statement, you want to make sure, number one, you're attracting the attention of the reader. You're considering the perspective of the reader as you're writing the essay. You're properly answering all the questions fully. And lastly, don't go too overboard with how you write and the tone of voice that you take. I understand that this video is very brief. If you do have any further questions about good personal statement writing, feel free to reach out to us at our website at www.forwardpathway.com.